All right, so what we have here is the date September 25th, 1961. This is President Kennedy speaking at the UN General Assembly. All right.
Mr. President, honored delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control. We shall propose finally a global systems of communication satellites linking the whole world in telegraph and telephone and radio and television. The day need not be far away when such a system will televise the proceedings of this body to every corner of the world for the benefit of peace.
Now, he said in weather prediction and what else? And weather control. All right? So I want you to see this next piece, all right? Because I showed you that in order to show you this. All right? Oh, the mic. Oh, my name's here. All right, so check this out.
This is the shuttle's fuel tank. It may only be 130 miles to space, but to cover that distance, the engines will use 500,000 gallons of fuel, and that works out at 2 feet to the gallon. Despite the cost, however, NASA does need to test these engines once in a while. So they built this place in the wetlands of Mississippi. The first thing they installed was a huge loudspeaker, through which they played white noise to simulate the sound of a rocket. They then sent a number of trucks in different directions out into the wilderness, and the drivers were ordered to stop when the noise levels became acceptable. This gave them an imaginary boundary line, and anyone living on the inside of it was offered a simple choice. Stay, and you'll never hear another television program as long as you live. Or take the NASA shilling and get out. No one stayed, and NASA ended up with exactly what it wanted. 125,000 acres of nothing. They even had to move 5 cemeteries, because the noise they were planning on making would wake the dead.
Feels like it's getting close, Dylan. There went something. What is that? That feels like it's getting very close.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And, as it turns out, the cleanest. Now, the most amazing thing is that that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet watching. It will actually rain.
So they made a cloud, okay? And this goes back to 1961, with Kennedy saying that they would be able to control the weather, all right?
I told you. It's raining. That's unbelievable. Oh. NASA's playing God. It's making its own weather.
Now, if you listen to what he said NASA's playing God. They're making their own weather.
NASA's what?
NASA is playing God. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, that's the whole thing with this system. They're trying to be God through the use of technology.
Right.
Okay? And let me let you see this. How many people remember the actor Shia LaBeouf? All right? And this is Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I love him.
All right? He was in the movie, what? Transformers. A lot of different movies, right? But I want you to watch him on this segment of this talk show. All right? He's on Jay Leno, and he's talking about a movie that he was doing. All right? Well, check this out.
Guy consultant on the picture telling me that they can use your ADT security box microphone to get your stuff that's going on in your house, or OnStar, they could shut your car down. And he told me that 1 in 5 phone calls that you make are recorded and logged. And I laughed at him, and then he played back a phone conversation I'd had 2 years prior to joining the picture, the FBI consultant. And it was like one of those phone calls, it was like, you know, what are you wearing type of things.
Really?
Yeah, so it was mad weird.
Wait, so you mean they had a record of you from
2 years prior to me joining the picture.
even being associated with the movie?
With the movie.
Well, that seems
It's extremely creepy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm trying to think of what the last 4 phone calls are.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's the whole thing about this system. And when I told you last time when we met, that they record your telephone conversations, your emails, your text messages, they collect all of this. All right? Now, and this is bringing us to a point because I want to show you something. But I want you to check this next piece out. All right? And this is dealing with hackers. All right?
Everywhere. From Ashley Madison to JP Morgan, from Jennifer Lawrence to the federal government, our biggest celebrities, corporations, and institutions have all been the targets of devastating cyber attacks. I wanted to see how bad a hack can get. So I invited a few of the world's best hackers to try to hack me and show me where my vulnerabilities are. And now I'm going to meet them in Las Vegas at DEF CON, the biggest hacker convention of the year, and see what they found. This might not have been the best idea. DEF CON is the biggest hacker convention of the year. It's a place where thousands of hackers come to hear talks, to demonstrate their newest hacks. It's actually a place that's so dangerous to be on the internet that they tell you to turn off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on your phone, and they tell you not to use the ATMs too, because those could be hacked as well. This is the DEF CON ballroom. This is sort of the main room where things are happening, and it's pretty wild. I think this is car hacking village. This car is locked. Can you get me in? I'll unlock it for you. Should be good. Hacking is no longer like this fringe activity, and if you are at DEF CON, there's a good chance that you're here because you want to learn what could happen to you or your company.
Anyone here first time in the SCCTF? Holy crap.
I invited Chris to hack me. with his team. But they're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
We help people with human security issues by testing vulnerabilities for like a network test, but it's for the people network. We test those vulnerabilities, see where the holes are, and then help people learn so they can patch them.
Can we try some of this? Can we try some?
Yeah.
See if it works?
Yeah, we probably could have our star Visher here make some phone calls as...
Let's do it.
Sure. Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it. Who are you going to call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm going to spoof from your number, so it's going to look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. My husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for uses information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
email.com?
Jessica gets my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account. Okay, my
Jessica uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry. So there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yes.
I really thought that my cell phone company would protect me. I mean, like, this is the most basic stuff, and they're not doing it. And if they're not doing it, you know all these other businesses aren't doing it either. Anyone with a phone and an internet connection can do social engineering. But I was curious, what can a hacker with serious coding skills do?
Well, DEF CON is the world's biggest hacking convention. It's hacking everything. Hacking social, hacking hardware, hacking software, hacking various systems.
I asked Dan Tentler, a well-known security researcher, to turn all of his firepower on me.
I did get into quite a number of things that I found.
So what were the first things you did? How did you start hacking me?
I quickly found your Squarespace blog and had an idea. Basically what I did was created a bogus Squarespace site and sent an email to you, a fish asking you to go to this website, run this certificate installer.
And I did it, because I'm an idiot.
So once you ran that, it gave me access to your computer, and I created several fake pop-ups that looked like system pop-ups that would ask you for your credentials.
You didn't even have to have my passwords.
No, you gave them to me.
I gave them to you.
Yeah. So I stole your 1Password keychain.
That's 1Password is where I store all my other passwords. So effectively by...
And your social security number and your Amex stuff and all your stock trading and bank information. I can send email to everyone in this room as you. I am you right now, if I wanted to be. If my evilness is working correctly, it should actually be taking pictures of your desktop and pictures through your webcam every 2 minutes. And I have been watching you for about 2 days now. In coffee shops, at your mom's house, on a plane. Here's your editing stuff. There's you.
Oh my God! So this is literally
every 2 minutes
through my webcam.
Yeah, through this guy.
How badly could you have messed up my life?
I could have made you homeless. I could have made you homeless and penniless.
How would you make me homeless?
Like I have control of your digital life in its entirety. I have all your credentials. I have all your access to all your financial information, all your work information, all your personal information. I can pay people with your bank account or your Amex account. I am you. I could fully impersonate. The only thing I couldn't doctor would be like your fingerprints.
This is like as bad as it gets.
It's ridiculous.
Now think about it. Now they're coming out with the phones where you unlock it using what?
Your fingerprint.
Okay? So, you know, the age of privacy is basically over. Okay? And a lot of us are giving up our privacies because of convenience. We want convenience. Alright?
So it turns out that Dan Tentler is very good at his job. I mean, he hacked the hell out of me. He got everything. Well, I mean, frankly, I want to take my computer and throw it into the deepest part of the ocean, and I want to become a hermit, and I want to never touch a piece of technology again, because holy shit, that was everything. That was the keys to my entire life, and he just pulled them out of his pocket. Even if I keep my passwords and my bank accounts safe, I could still be in danger from hacks. Because with factories, power plants, and other major infrastructure being controlled by networked computers, the world itself is hackable. I'm going to meet Marina Kurdafil. She's studying hacking chemical plants. She's thinking about what happens if hackers decide to go after infrastructure. But this is the kind of hacking that could really ruin like an entire country. Who should be most worried about chemical plant hacking?
Well, pretty much every plant, because big business beats big money. So the hackers are always there where the money are. So it's a good target. So for example, the most common cause is extortion. A large number of extortion attacks has happened already, and our critical infrastructure is vulnerable.
So let's just say like a nuclear power plant could have a big accident, and they think our machine just malfunctioned, our safeguards didn't work, but it's actually someone hacking.
Yes, but the worst case scenario, if it will be incompetent or unskillful attacker who does not understand what he's breaking in, and that they will do something with a large or extensive collateral damage. But probably most scariest is hacking the satellites, because now everything navigates with a GPS. So basically even the huge oil tankers in the sea, they're completely navigated automatically by the signals from the satellites. So by simply disrupting the satellite signals, you can lose the entire tanker and or the aircraft can collide.
To me it seems obvious, like this is how war will be conducted in the future. But it's much easier than sending 1 million ground troops in, or or buying drones to fly over an enemy's state. Like we're sort of looking at the future of not just infrastructure, but like global conflict. There's almost too much for me to worry about here. I'm almost just sort of numbed. People keep telling me, oh, this could get hacked, and that could get hacked, and this other thing could get hacked, and oh, the chemical plants could get really hacked. And at some point, like, I've got to get out of bed in the morning. So I have to find a way to make myself feel a little bit better about all of this. So I'm meeting Morgan Marquiboire, a cybersecurity consultant and the director of security at First Look Media, for some advice on locking down my digital life. Should I be feeling helpless, or can I help myself here?
Do you worry about trained martial artists beating you up on the street?
Not particularly.
But you're aware that they exist. You're also aware that you probably couldn't do anything about it if one of them wanted to beat you up on the street.
Probably not.
Right? And I mean, you can actually possibly think about the danger that hacking poses to you right now in much the same terms. But the first step is actually thinking sanely about digital security, which most people don't do. So for instance, how do we protect our physical integrity? Maybe we don't walk down the dodgy alley at night, right? People who haven't spent any time thinking about digital security don't actually know what the dodgy alleys of the internet are. Like, should I click that link? Maybe I shouldn't install the software.
And I thought I was pretty good. Like, I thought I was...
It's tough. The chances that a skilled black hat is deciding for no reason whatsoever to attack you, I mean, it's actually reasonably small. Like, it sort of begs the question, why, right? You could hire security people to, look after your online life, but you probably don't need to do that.
We used to think of hackers as being sort of fringe characters, but now when so much of our lives are lived on these connected devices, they're power brokers. They can make or break us.
I'm trying to log into our account.
They stole your 1Password keychain.
I mean, they know more about this stuff than anyone, and that's a power that is going to become increasingly valuable.
We need to know where our flaws are so that we can be safer. And I think the best thing to do is to enable them to help us rather than shoo them away.
Do you guys have any of those little things that you put over the camera on your laptop?
Paradoxically, I feel more secure now than I did last week. Because
now, why do you think they've created these systems of surveillance? Like, why do you think that they record all your telephone conversations, collect your emails, your text messages? What do you think the purpose of that is? Say again? You said monetary? Monitor, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely monitor, definitely surveillance. All right, but let me show you this from a movie that you all probably saw. All right, it's called A Bug's Life.
I never
saw it. All right, I want you to check out this one segment in A Bug's Life. All right.
There was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss, they're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this brain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? Well, how about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay?
Now, think about it. We have various leaders that would surface. What would they do to them?
Take them out, kill them.
Right?
Oh, crap.
Now, this one way to take them out is through surveillance. Because if I'm recording everything, every aspect of your life, I can bring up all kinds of stuff to blackmail you.
Right.
All right? Think about what they did with King. They came out with all that surveillance that they had on King. As a matter of fact, a lot of you probably don't know that the government has sent him a letter telling him that he might as well commit suicide because of all of the stuff that they had on him that they were going to reveal about how he was cheating on his wife.
Yeah, somebody said that he had a sex tape, and you can't. The guy wanted to release it, and I'm like, why would you? He's dead already. Why would you ever want to do that? Number one. And then number two, they said that he couldn't release it because it's a certain amount of years that you gotta wait for somebody to be dead in order to release something about their information.
And I mean, it's very possible because they were monitoring him for a long time.
Right.
Okay. But now, I want you to see this because now we're going to talk about some of the stuff why I want to talk to you about. I wanted to talk to you about the hacking and all that kind of stuff. But now check this out.
That your wife has been seeing my husband.
Now,
history, it is that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Who you're about to see now is a man by the name of Aaron Russo. All right? I want you to listen very carefully to what Aaron Russo has to say here.
This is Aaron Russo, a filmmaker and former politician. To his left is Nicholas Rockefeller of the infamous Rockefeller banking and business dynasty. After maintaining a close friendship with Nicholas Rockefeller, Aaron eventually ended the relationship, appalled by what he had learned about the Rockefellers and their ambitions.
I got a call one day from an attorney woman I knew, and she said, "Would you like to meet one of the Rockefellers?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to." And we became friends, and he began to divulge a lot of things to me. So he said to me one night, he said that there's going to be an event there, and out of that event, you're going to see we're going to go into Afghanistan, so we run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to go into Iraq to take the oil and establish a base in the Middle East, and we're going to go into Venezuela and try and get rid of Chavez. And the first two they've accomplished. Chavez they didn't accomplish. And said you're going to see guys going into caves looking for people that they're never going to find. You know, he's laughing about the fact that you have this war on terror. There's no real enemy. He's talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it because it's an eternal war. And so you can always keep taking people's liberties away. And I said, how are you going to convince people that this war is real? He said, but the media. The media can convince everybody it's real. I mean, you know, it's just that you keep talking about things. You keep saying it over and over and over again, and eventually people believe it. You know, you created the Star Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11, which is another lie. Through 9/11, you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie, and now they're going to do Iran. You know, and it's all one thing leading to another, leading to another, leading to another. Now, I would say, what are you doing this for? What's the point of this thing? You have all the money in the world you ever want. You have all the power. I said, you know, you're hurting people. It's not a good thing. And he would say, what do you care about the people for? Take care of yourself and take care of your family. And then I said, so what are the ultimate goals here? He said, the ultimate goal is to get everybody in this world chipped with the RFID chip and have all money be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off that chip.
That's right, microchipped. In 2005, Congress, under the pretense of immigration control and the so-called war on terrorism, passed the Real Idea, under which it is projected by May 2008, you will be required to carry around a federal identification card, which includes on it a scannable barcode with your personal information.
Now, when I first saw this was years ago, okay? And they talked about the Real Idea. Now, they said that this was supposed to start happening in 2008, all right? Nothing happened. We hadn't heard anything about Real ID, you know, since 2008, happening in 2008. So people thought, no, this is not real, all right? This is something fake. Pay attention, watch this.
Code is only an intermediary step before the card is equipped with a Verichip RFID tracking module, which will use radio frequencies to track your every move on the planet. If this sounds foreign to you, please note that the RFID tracking chip is already in all new American passports. And the final step is the implanted chip, which many people have already been manipulated into accepting under different pretenses.
We have a Florida family who are really pioneers in a brave new world. They have volunteered to be the first ever to have microchip identification devices implanted into their body.
After 9/11, I was really concerned with the security of my family.
I wouldn't mind having something planted permanently in my arm that would identify me.
In the end, everybody will be locked into a monitored control grid where every single action you perform is documented. And if you get out of line, they can just turn off your chip. For at that point in time, every single aspect of society will revolve around interactions with the chips. This is the picture that is painted for the future if you open your eyes to see it.
Now,